Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Zelda Speedruns and welcome to what might be the final game of the Link to the Past Randomizer AD Keys Tournament 2022. It's the Grand Finals Game 2, Gammachuu versus Humbugh. Careful spoilers if you didn't watch Game 1. I'm gonna say it now. Humbugh won Game 1, and we're gonna look over what they did, how they got here, and I'm pretty sure our two commentators will have a lot to say about that. I hand it over to Clearmouse and to Nilton Alex. Take it away, it's all yours.
Yo, thanks Trez. That was a really nice intro. Alex, how are you doing today? Are you ready? Can you already believe it? We're here. Not only we're past game 1, but this actually could be the deciding game for the Grand Champion Finals between Gamma and Humbugh. Are you ready for this?
Clearmouse, what happens if we tie here?
Alex, we're not even... Do you see the timer? It's not even like 1 second into the game and you're already making us consider all of these terrible possibilities? I want to be able to see, one of these guys is going to take the ultimate, victory, for AD keys. I don't want to think about a tie. Although, if you are fans of more rando, you want as many ties as you could possibly get.
Hey, that's what I was looking for. Like a tie
yes,
here and get more rando, and they can focus on this, and we can play qualifiers for the other tournament.
That's right. So. Yeah. Actually, come to think of it, I wonder if there have been any ties actually in this entire tournament.
Yeah, that's wild. But then again, I do expect the best out of Gamma and Humbugh in this one. They are like top runners, top tier runners for sure.
Yeah, and not only, I mean, this is ALttPR Keys, you certainly, as you said, like they're top tier runners. You name the mode, you name the rando, whatever, like they've played it. Gamma, of course, very famous. He was the runner up in last year's main tournament, doing actually quite well in the qualifiers this year. Humbugh, I think he's in the top whatever finishers for basically every single tournament you could think of. Skill, execution is going to be very high. I'm very excited to see this on display. And there's probably a reason here why they are in the finals of ALttPR Key Sanity. It is actually, a skill to be not only thorough, but also incredibly efficient in order to clear out and beat this game.
Yeah, and based on the last one, I missed the first final between them, but based on the race time room they had, it was pretty close between them. So I expect it to be as close as ever between these two. We got a nice tree. We got a nice tree pull here early on with 8 bombs.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see if somebody wants to do a full-on bomb escape. I don't think so, but it would be interesting.
Yeah, we were just actually talking about, last year's main tournament, Gamma was the runner-up. Okay, nice pseudo-vanilla fighter shield there from Uncle as well. But yeah, so Gamma, I'm sure also Humbugh, performed pretty well. Is probably pretty familiar with the escape sequence just using bombs.
Yeah, I think we're going to see it, actually, because both of them are still proceeding through here, so...
Hey, you're here. There are going to be, 3 relatively easy checks here in the front of escape. Certainly no reason to, since you're, just here again, being thorough and being efficient. You are right here. You've got plenty of resources to your name. May as well just give this a shot. Now, of course, logically speaking, we haven't seen the Hyrule Castle small key yet, so it's just going to be this very first map chest that's going to be in logic. Everything after that is going to be technically out of logic, but logic is kind of a suggestion, right? At this point,
yeah. Who even plays with logic, right?
Exactly.
It's more fun playing with that. We're getting a lot of bumps here early on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so just in case, they weren't too sure of their bomb escape, execution, even though both these guys did a really nice job. Just gonna get some extra bomb just for good measure.
Yeah, they will not have to worry about Kakariko later with the amount of bombs they pick up here. So a nice refill. Even guards are dropping bombs here, so that's even better.
Yeah, the prize pack knowledge actually for these guys are also going to be, pretty useful. They're going to even have this knowledge moving forward. Unfortunately, it looks like at least the front of escape is kind of well, you do get resources, but 3 bombs and that single arrow so far isn't really looking too lucrative here for their venture here into the front of Escape. Now, I guess I am curious, at this point, because we are also on a little bit of low health. If either Gamma or Humbugh is going to choose and Death Warp, and then potentially make their way through the dark tunnels and maybe check Dark Cross.
I don't think they will do it, to be honest. There's some Umbro.
Oh, okay. You know what? Forget that. Yeah, we've definitely very useful or very necessary. That pearl is one of our 3 pieces here to Dark World access.
Oh, wow! Wow.
Geez.
Well, it would have been easier to pick up that sword before going.
Yeah. All right.
It makes a lot of sense
there
here.
You go. Yeah, maybe these guys did such a great job doing Bomb Escape anyway. But you are correct, Alex, that maybe having that sword might have made the escape sequence just go a little bit further or faster in this case.
Yeah. Wow. So we only the best part here is that the 2 runners have already done most of Escape, which is nice. So they don't have to go back until super later. So that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what we can pick up here. Nice triple there.
Yeah. I was gonna say the resources here, especially in the early game, is super useful, right? They got 8 bonds, from a tier 3 pull. They got 20 rupees from another tier 3 pull. I mean, this is especially for those of you who maybe are more familiar with the cross keys or key sanity, especially for AD keys. Early resources are extremely valuable. That sword certainly is a really nice permanent weapon, but especially if you, in this case, head down to Kakariko, head down to other places, bonds, money, anything you can kind of get your hands on is really always going to be helpful for you.
I do find it interesting that Gamma saves and quits and goes down to South Shore, while Humbugh didn't even do a 3 pull, so he never got those 20 rupees.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe, and of course Kakariko, very lucrative, lots and lots of checks here. Maybe Humbugh is kind of hoping that he's going to be able to, find some more things instead of spending a bit extra time. Gamma, as you said, this move is kind of interesting. In this case, maybe Gamma is hoping to delay his trip to Kakariko, but, we've got a mirror here in Blind's Hut, but maybe Gamma's hoping that he can maybe find a flute, or maybe he can find, a bottle that will basically save him another trip over.
Yeah, but we have Mirror and Cape in Blind's Hut, so...
Yeah. That cape is actually very interesting.
It opens up one chest in Castle Tower right now. So.
Yeah, the logical implications of that cape, I think especially in non-key modes, right? We kind of joke around saying that cape's going to show up, maybe it's an Agassi. Well, of course, AD keys, by default, it's going to be an Agassi, but the logical implications in this case maybe, certainly would not be surprising if the game would force you to go dip that first chest pretty early. But we've just got a lot of good here we also found the flippers here in the bottom of the well.
Yeah, so they definitely paid off for Humbugh going here, but got Ether Medallion, lots of rupees, and rupees and Ether Medallion. Also lots of things.
Yeah, at least, Gamma still has a sword, and, thanks to his, kind of first, uncle visit, he did actually pick up 2 magic pots, so if he chooses and he wants to use Ether for, whatever reason, he actually has that option.
Yeah, that's always nice to have. Bottle Vendor being dead, so nice spending those 100 rupees on nothing.
Yeah. And, as our runners kind of make their way through, also would like to point out, all of these items here are being very excellently and diligently tracked by our awesome trackers here today, Philly and Noblade, doing an awesome job. You know what? Speaking of, we're going to see that hammer immediately light up on Humbugh's side. Jeez, Kakariko is quite loaded here today so far.
Yeah, so that's definitely paying off in favor for Humbugh, but then again, this early on, it doesn't really matter in the end.
Yeah, right. Certainly, this is not going to be a location that, Gamma's going to skip, per se. He's just going to probably put it off a little bit longer. And looks like this is actually probably going to be his Kakariko venture, doing basically all of South Shore, not really having much else other than that Ether Medallion we saw in Mini Moldorm Cave. But looks like he's going to come back from the south. Yeah, library. I think we're going to need... Okay, so the good news is that because that hookshot is there, we're going to need the boots. We're just gonna hope that it's not gonna be Boots Go mode or something. Oh
god, no. So that it could be it could vary very well end up with like a Bootsy in GT, because this is one of those game modes, and you never know what happens in 80 keys. And,
that is true, right? We haven't gotten a map check, it actually looks like, quite yet from either of our runners. So we actually don't know necessarily if Swamp Palace, in this case, is a pendant or a crystal, but if it is a pendant, you are 100% correct, Alex. That's we could certainly see that type of situation. We're going to hope, of course, that it's not going to be, because we would really like our runners to go fast. But, well, the possibility certainly does exist.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty with this game mode. That
Did you say beauty?
Can happen. It's a beauty.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, we might have different... You know what? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You know, I'll just...
Exactly,
yes.
exactly.
Alright, Gamma's gonna make his way through Kakariko from the south. Gonna pick up that hammer, gonna pick up his flippers, gonna pick up his mirror, and pick up his cape.
So it's going to be interesting with the flippers early on. I think there's going to be something flipper related. The main question is, will it be on Zora or like Waterfall Fairy, Hobo? Or because we don't have any money at all. And we can't put up a, what is it called now? Chrysolian room and all that stuff. So
yeah, that's actually a really good point too. You know, right? Logically speaking, you know, flippers, you just said, opens up Hobo, opens up, you know, Waterfall Fairy, but yeah, more importantly, it also does open up Zora. Zora costs a very hefty 500. You know, and typically, you know, depending on, I guess, what your style preferences are, you can cool hand very early, right, with the useless fairy. But once you pick up those flippers, not really going to be an option. And of course, we can still do cool hand with other ways, but you know, that one by far is probably the easiest.
Yeah, and this is well, I like how Humbugh is routing right now, because you never know what. Well, okay, never mind. Never mind. Agina is very much dead.
Yeah. Actually, you know, Alex, I was actually wondering. So, okay, so if you put yourself in Humbugh's position, right? So this is best of 3 finals. You are up a game. Do you do anything differently in terms of like strategy or, you know, routing style? Like, so, you know, because you do have a 1-game buffer in a best of 3 series, like, do you maybe consider to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more conservative?
I think in this case, maybe Gamma will be the one that's more aggressive towards Humbugh. Just because, like you mentioned, Humbugh does have 1 game up in hand on Gamma, so I don't think he wants to risk too much at this point.
Okay.
While Gamma might be feeling, I need to do something else that actually works out.
All right, this is going to be definitely very interesting in terms of to see what kind of strategies we have. All right, Gamma, you know, it looks like he finished up Kakariko. And gonna be a little bit of head on the flipper checks versus Humbugh. We did see a mystery small key on Hylia Islands. Well, we do have the mirror and we do have the flippers, so we'll get some Dark World access. Potentially, that's going to be something of that interest for us. Picking up looks like our first GT small key from Hobo.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a small key whenever you end up in GT. Unless, like, if you're Go mode, you will end up having that one as, like, you don't need to pick up any keys in there, so just speed through GT.
Yeah, right. And, you know, again, this is all Dungeons Key Sanity. You know, these guys have played, well, a plethora of games probably by now. But, you know, so this is going to be something that we have to clear out basically every single thing that, you know, the game has to offer. All 3 pendant dungeons, all 7 crystal dungeons, Castle Tower, and, of course, Ganon's Tower. There is no getting around any of these requirements.
And these flipper checks right now, they're pretty much dead right now.
Yeah, I haven't really even seen, you know, much of... You know, certainly GT Small, you know, is going to be very useful. There are going to be, of course, logical implications. We're going to probably see all of them, you know, just because we logically need them to beat the game.
Wow.
But, you know, we should just hold off like 5 seconds. Whatever we need, yeah.
That glove unlocks Dark World and also backup escape, so that's nice. Well, in this case, I would say we don't. Well, where is that small key to Hyrule Castle right now?
Yeah, that's actually a good point. All right, yeah. So of course, for Gamma, unfortunately, just like Humbugh, we're a little bit strapped for cash in this, you know, trying times with our economy, and so unfortunately, can't actually claim what's on Zora, but we're gonna pick up that glove for Dark World access.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what our runners will pick here. Okay, it looks like Gamma will just head straight for Hype Cave, which makes sense.
Yeah, a Hype Cave looks trying to get a free bomb there from the rock, but yeah, Hype Cave also pretty lucrative, very item dense location. And then I guess he's got some choices maybe. He can go up to the pyramid, he can go do Pod, he can go do Stumpy Dig Game.
I think he might end up going to Catfish at this point.
Or okay, yeah, so that's right. Catfish is very much a thing.
Because it's just like it's so out of the way. Catfish, so it's just better to have it already done this early on.
Alright, looks like though, Humbugh, alright, so haven't quite gone over to the Zora area. Did we just see a big key to Eastern?
Yeah, that's my favorite dungeon right now, so.
Oh jeez, alright, Gamma already making some, pretty good decision here. Speaking of, alright, on the other side, Humbugh found our small Kakariko castle, so that puts our Moon Pearl in logic, but yeah, Gamma finding not only a Master Sword, but we also find a flute as well.
Yeah, now we have the logical way up to the, what is called now, the mountain as well, so
yes,
that opens up a lot of more checks to do for Gamma, but wow, that Hype Cave.
It's actually pretty dang hype this time. Alright, so we do see in this case Humbugh actually making his way into Eastern Palace, probably still looking for some other type of progression. Certainly still something could be here. But we did see, of course, on Gamma's side that our Dark World access, which definitely led to a couple of pretty nice progression items in Pipe Cave, is in fact sitting on Zora Ledge.
Yeah, and also the fact that whenever Gamma wants to dip here, he already had got the big key, which Humbugh does not have. But then again, it's quite fast to double dip Eastern Palace as well, so it's not like a huge time loss per se.
Yeah, and of course, this is Sphere 1, Eastern Palace. There is certainly nothing that precludes a progression being here.
No, I definitely know all about that from you.
Hey, I am a very big believer here of Eastern Palace, so hopefully this is going to be something good for Humbugh.
Ooh,
what? Speaking of progression, nothing I think immediate, right, necessarily with that Kane Samaria, but oh yeah, you're very happy to see that.
Well, if he picks up a mushroom here, he could actually, but it's not.
He can powder.
So that mushroom could be very handy. And, the Samaria at least, not the... okay, never mind, there's a bow.
Jeez, alright, well, you know what? The Dark World is just, handing Gamma things left and right, digging with the bow. Yeah, with that big key to Eastern Palace. Eastern Palace here for Gamma is gonna look pretty dang lucrative.
Yeah, this is definitely looking good for Gamma early on. But then again, this is early on. It's all Dungeons Key Sanity, so anything can happen. I do know that Gamma looked like he was a little bit ahead of Humbugh last race between them. So anything can seriously happen.
Oh yeah. This is randomizer. We really can't be able to call. The game is not over until somebody hits .done or clicks .done or whatever it is in race time that you do.
Yeah, I'm still. Yeah, race time is you click done. That's seriously the only thing you do. So it was so much funnier back in the day when you done.
When you had, Alright, looks like the Humbugh's just gonna finish up the last of his checks here in Eastern Palace, and of course no lamp means that this check technically is not in logic until we find it, but again, dark rooms are 0 problems for our runners here today.
Yeah, and well, Samaria is the only thing we found that's quite useful here, but then again, we don't really need Samaria right now, so...
yeah, exactly.
looks pretty great for Gamma whenever he hits Eastern. He can dip front of Pod as well at the same time, so that's nice. That's a nice wing. We don't have any Pod smalls, but we can do at least three checks in the dungeon.
Hey, alright, so old man is holding on to I guess his life savings or something like that, giving it to Gamma. So actually we have just a couple rupees, I think, short of both Zora and Kiki money, but that's definitely going to be something that's probably not going to be much of a problem here for Gamma.
Yeah, and I think the fun part here is going to be whenever Humbug goes Hype Cave later on, and he finds that big key to Eastern, and then he finds Bo later on, I think he's gonna kick himself a little bit.
Yeah, but I certainly 100% agree with you. But as you also just said, this is also pretty dang early, in the seed. Especially it's probably better to, get back on track, right? Because you have lots of game in this case to make up time for.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's also quite interesting that Gammachuu never did check the small key that was on the Lycalia island earlier.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But then again, he went and picked up the bow, so it's you take one or leave one in the end.
Alright, yeah, Humbug here. Alright, getting his Dark World access. Oh, jeez, back of escape has our Tempered Sword. Alright, well, offense today is not going to be an issue. Certainly not going to be too much of a difference here in Eastern Palace once Gamma goes back, but yeah, bosses, once you put Tempered Sword, in these guys' hands, I think everything's just going to be pretty dang comfy at this point.
I mean, you never say no to free swords.
Yes.
And Tempered Sword this early on is just amazing to get.
It's so nice. And of course, those of you who maybe have been playing, seeing more main tournament qualifiers, this is a just a normal item pool. None of that hard stuff we're gonna see. We just see a Gamma, pick up Blue Mail. We're gonna potentially even be able to pick up Gold Sword if they end up finding that fourth sword, but we're gonna get a lot of nice quality of life upgrades.
Yeah, okay, so this is a bit confusing from Gamma's part. Why do you go here to Eastern Palace but not using the portal to go to Pod at the same time?
Yeah, this is actually because we also not only of course we have the mirror, right? We can do both Dark World and Light World, but also if you want to get out of Pod, right? That's going to be actually pretty fast. It's a very fast check to Shooter Room.
Yeah, it doesn't really make that much sense right now from the routing, but I mean you don't need keys in Pod as well because you got 3 items early on.
Oh yeah, that's
and
true.
You actually do have the hammer as well, so you can actually check at least 2 more checks. So that's 5 items early on Pod.
Yeah, you actually bring up a very good point. In this case, right, we have, in this case, it looks like Humbug's actually going to pick up his bow relatively shortly. But yeah, we can get Shooter Room, we can get the Bowlock side, which is 2 checks. We have the hammer, as you just mentioned, so we can actually get down from the Bowlock side, and then check, the bridge chest and, Stalfo's basement. Yeah, even, 0 keys, right? That's actually, very, very convenient.
And also the fact that normally, this is just based on, key sanity in general. There's always at least 1 small key to Pod inside Pod. It happens all the time.
That is also very correct. And not only can we do 1 key, there also might be a second key in Pod too. So
exactly.
Not be surprised.
And we still don't know what the small key on Lake Hylia is either. That could be a Pod small key.
Yeah, that's true. We've actually, I guess even across our travels, right? We actually got quite a lot of items in terms of progression, where we see actually those things that lit up very well on the trackers. But yeah, in terms of actually keys, we got a big key to Eastern, got a small key to GT, and not very much else actually to speak of.
Yeah, we haven't really picked up any keys at all, so well, they're gonna show up sooner or later, but it's not that it usually has at least maybe 2 more big keys, maybe 3-4 small keys early on, but this is quite dry on the key department at this point.
Yeah. Also, thanks to awesome trackers. You can see on Humbug's side, he did end up talking to the bomb shop vendor in Dark World. So we did actually find out that 5-6 crystals here are what looks like Hera and Meyer. So it certainly could be useful because we then unlock Pyramid Fairy. That also could be working into some people's routing strategies. Because we haven't been back to the pyramid quite yet. But maybe if things work out, we can actually do Meyer and Hera before kind of going back over to the pyramid area.
Yeah, it's always nice to try and combo in these weird checks later on, but sometimes you're actually forced to go to pyramid right now to pick up your mids or something dumb like that.
Yeah. Alright, so so Humbug activating his flutes, just a little bit behind in terms of, going into Dark World just because he did a little bit more Light World checks. But certainly not going to be anything that, Gamma won't have already done.
Yeah, Gamma is going to pick up his pace as well. Gamma had the luxury of picking up the flute, so whenever he checked Agina earlier on, he could just flute there instead of
that's true.
walking. So
Yeah.
stuff like that actually matters in the end, like with like how fast you can move around the world. And Gamma had that luxury a little bit earlier.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. And again, this is all Dujinski sanity. The flute is certainly a really nice movement option, but everything in this case matters when you're trying to be thorough and efficient at the same time. All right, Gamma has.
Gonna see here if Humbugh is missing out on something. Did miss out on anything in the big chest, thankfully.
Yeah, I think it was actually just like a map to Hera, which, we already found out on Humbugh's side that it was already a 5/6 crystal, so...
No, it was even better. It was Ganon's Tower map.
It was Ganon's Tower map? Okay.
Oh, there's a big key.
Oh, big key too?
Oh, wow.
Oh, alright.
Well, big key to Pod, but also a pendant on his turn, so...
Alright, so at the 20, looks like 3-minute mark, Gamma has claimed our first dungeon. Alright, looks like though Gamma's probably just gonna finish up. Looks like checking Sahashla, getting his 3 items here in the back, and if I just Kara Castle Small Key, and then I guess where are we gonna go? We're gonna go back to Pod in this case. It is only a flute away, so...
Yeah, I mean... interesting choice here.
Alright. Well, actually, a little bit more thoroughness here on Humbugh's side. He doesn't have the lamp, but he does have the Hyrule Castle Small Key. So it looks like we're actually going to try and figure out what is in Dark Cross here today.
Okay, so Gamma's gonna wait with Pod. Makes sense. You just picked up big key. Yeah, don't have any small keys, so you don't want to go there right now, I guess. So going up here, you got Paradox Cave.
Oh, that's right. You did mention it. Yeah, you mentioned that we have a ton of stuff here up on the mountain with that hammer and mirror. Of course, logical access now with the flutes. That makes a lot more sense. Being able to basically get a lot of another item dense location or sets of item dense locations versus like just Pod.
Well, there's a small key inside Spec Rock.
Right, okay. Alright. Humbugh has finally managed Dark Cross location, and it is a compassed ice palace, so at least we're going to be able to count along with Gamma, or with Humbugh, once he eventually goes there. I see you have given Gamma here a little bit of routing advice.
Yeah,
try to get out.
Don't fall in, though. Castle Tower first small key inside Spec Rock, so that's quite useful because we need 2 of them. Okay, never mind.
No, Gamma. You are 100% correct. You are just like swords and AD keys. You are never going to turn down a Castle Tower small key because those are arguably, the yellow-looking ice rods basically of this game.
I would say AD, just in general, AD keys and stuff like that, key sanity, whenever you want small keys to Castle Tower, the most annoying keys to get, because you seem to never find them until like super late. That and Swamp Smalls, so enjoy 3 small keys that will never pop up.
Yeah, so Swamp Swell. And of course, you not only do you want to see like, one Castle Tower small key, you really want to see another one somewhere like out in the open, because oh my gosh. Oh fuck. We maybe should just look away from whatever they're in Spec Rock Cave, Alex. I don't think we have had too much luck here on either side.
I think just me being on commentary for this one put some pressure on the runners with the Spec Rock.
Clearly they're not going to handle it. Did you just talking about a small key to Swamp Palace being difficult to find?
Yes.
Seems like Gamma and Humbugh aren't going to have any issues here to find them.
Oh, look at that! We got a bottle as well. We're getting all.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So that Swamp small key unlocks a lot of checks in Swamp, but it's also annoying because you're going to have double dip if you go in there now. So.
Yeah. Actually, you actually bring up a good point, right? So Swamp Palace, of course. What do we need to get inside Swamp Palace? We need, item-wise, we need the mirror. We need, in this case, the hammer in order to make a little bit further progress. We need the flippers. We do need that swamp small key, which will basically unlock everything except the first chest. But again, we know where the hookshot is. You would really like to be able to take that hookshot with you to Swamp Palace, but of course, we're gonna need some boots. Nothing, of course, precludes the boots being inside the front of Swamp Palace or anything like that, but that is something that you're gonna want to hope to find sooner rather than later.
I think it's gonna be quite entertaining to see who dips Swamp first in this case. But we got so many overworld checks and dark world checks at this point. I think it's gonna they're gonna hold off with Swamp for a while.
Yeah, for the time being, right? And of course, being here up in the mountain, they got the mirror. It would be really swell in order to find the mid-slay up here, so then they could just automatically go straight to the dark world and just finish up the mountain checks here.
Both mids and boots will be in the
Yes, that would be awesome.
Oh, look at that, Hera Big Key.
Yeah, that's also pretty dang convenient for both of our runners. No, hookshot, of course, means we can't actually Hera pod and take a shortcut up, but, we got the big key, so we got actually, logical access, and we don't have to necessarily leave behind that big chest.
Oh, here's all the big keys. There's Ice Palace
Yeah,
big key.
there's
Another
ice
one of
too.
those annoying. Well, there's a small key. Throw a rock. We need at least 3 of them.
Amazing. We're finding, I think we found more big keys early on than small keys, which doesn't happen too often.
That's quite fun, actually. Normally you find all the small keys first. Not this time around.
Yeah. Alright. I'm glad you didn't curse them on the Paradox Cave bomb jump back, because it looked like Gamma was successfully able to manage to make his way over here.
It seems like they have some... Well, this time around they had no issues with it, but bomb jumping across pits this time around looks a bit hard for Gamma and Humbugh.
Yeah, alright, Gamma is gonna just take that big key straight over back to the Tower of Hera. So we're gonna probably clear out the rest, and I think at this point, probably, no small key, and of course no fire source means that we can't actually get the basement, but who wants to sit through Hera basement anyway?
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to do it, but there's some times where we have to spend time down there. It's never fun. I think this is gonna end up with Hera into maybe Spike Cave when they're done here. We got Cape, so we can actually pull it off. It's gonna be clutch, but they both Gamma and Humbugh knows how to do it.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, Cape does take a little bit more magic than the Kena Burn does. So yeah, you're definitely right in that timing's gonna be a little bit tighter. But of course, logically speaking, it is in Logics because we do have a bottle, and we do have, in this case, an invisibility item. Alright, so far it looks like the bomb jump trend for success is continuing on Gamma's side. Hopefully it's going to be the same here on Humbugh's side. That bomb jump, if you end up failing it, is actually a little bit more punishing, because I think you are going to fall 2 floors down, and you really don't want to climb up again.
Yeah, that one is painful if you fall. It's never fun to fall through Hera.
Yeah. Alright, speaking of potentially other pitfalls, you also don't want to fall to Moldrum. It certainly happened before, but if you do have to fall, try not to fall in the middle.
That's why we have the cape as well.
Yes.
Saves a lot of issues here. And we have... Well, okay, nothing in Hera.
Yeah, nothing in Hera?
Well, at least not at the top of Hera. Because the basement had it. Or, not the basement, but...
Yeah, it was the basement, right? Yeah, basement cage had the swamp small.
Yeah, true. Never mind.
Yeah. No. But I mean, in this case, yeah, top of Hera didn't have... It had, well, another requisite crystal or pendant, of course, that we're going to need. But yeah, in terms of progression, not so much. Alright, speaking of, you're talking about, timing's gonna be a little bit tight here. It looks like Gamma is pretty confident in his Spike Cave abilities with the cape and health. So hopefully it's gonna be working out for him.
It is gonna work out. It's good.
Right.
It's gonna be at like the 1 heart, 2 hearts? Yeah, 2 hearts.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, the Spike Cave is done, so we don't need to think about going up the mountain right now, at least.
Yeah. Meanwhile, though, Humbugh taking down Moldrum, a lickety split, very similar to a Gamma in this case. Looks like, let's see if he's going to... Looks like he's actually going to skip out of Spike Cave for the time being. We do, of course, saw that on Gamma's side, it was only a heart piece. So if, in this case, Humbugh never does it, I'm not going to be too worried.
Yeah, it works out in the end, but whenever Humbug ends up in that issue, he can't find any progression somewhere. He might have to go up to Spike Cave again. And then Gamma is like, well, I already done it, so stuff like that will even out. Humbug will do a check, and Gamma will skip it, and Gamma does one, and Humbug skips that one. So it's gonna be like that throughout the race in the end.
Yeah, and especially like you know, they've guys probably looks like, you know, it's very similar strategy. You know, trying to do, you know, go target the item dense locations kind of first, and then, you know, making kind of like a decision here and there to see if they want to try and invest a little bit more time. In terms of, it looks like though, you know, after the mountain, kind of for both of them, looks like they're both willing to go into the Dark World, explore out the Village of Outcasts, Skull Woods area. Looks like Humbug is immediately diving into Skull Woods.
Yeah, dipping Skull Woods, like many people skip it. I don't know how people route in Key Sanity at least, but skipping Skull Woods is quite common these days.
Everyone has their. You know what? Skip Skull Woods. I'm on Dunca's side for at least key sanity modes. I'm not sure actually but I think actually this wasn't the map chest also like in a qualifier race as well had the boots.
I think it was the other day when the sword wasn't catfish. So thanks for reminding me.
Oh, you're right. You are absolutely correct about that. Well, you know, so that's actually really excellent news for Humbug. We've got the boots here in the front of Skull Woods. Sorry about the qualifier reminders, people. But yeah, this is not only that we're gonna be able to move lickety split, you know, super fast, gonna be able to dash everywhere. Hopefully, Humbug in this case remembers that on the library there is that hook shot, and then Swamp Palace actually is looking pretty dang lucrative at this point.
Yeah, I would say that it definitely turned the race around a little bit here. But then again, you never know how Gamma will route, because Gamma doesn't have that many options when he's done with Front of Thieves. But there's a lamp in good old Thieves Town, and there's a odd small key inside Skull Woods.
Yeah, I think, and surprisingly, this is actually our first Skullwood small key, I think. Or not Skullwoods, Pot Small. There are 6 of them in the entire pool. Oh, jeez. Our Humbug almost got grabbed there just due to enemies not being kind whatsoever.
But this definitely turned things around.
Yeah, this is actually gonna be pretty right. So it looks like Humbug is actually not gonna try and do the vanilla Bicky chest in Skull Woods. Maybe gonna opt for that a little bit later. But I think he's pretty happy now with those boots. Gonna probably check Bumper Ledge, maybe Graveyard Ledge before heading down.
Well, hello there, good old Mushroom in Thieves Town.
Yeah, Mushroom in Thieves Town. So okay, we did also spy half magic on Bumper Ledge. Is that something that you think is worth it?
I mean, I would go for it, but that's a different story. Oh, okay, there's a big key to Skullwoods. And oh, there's a small key on Lumberjacks, so that could be fun.
Yeah, that could be very interesting. Again, you know, we do have one Castle Tower small key. We do see the lamp here on Gamma's side. We got more than enough swords. Oh man, you know, well, we know it's not a Castle Tower small key, but I guess who knows? In this case, it's going to be another requisite small key.
It could be a pod small key, it could be a Turtle Rock small key, it could be whatever small key you want.
Yeah. Turtle Rock small key would probably be the most inconvenient, just because, you know, certainly we know that we're going to logically need all of them, but if the Turtle Rock small key is there, it's going to make the seed a little bit that much more difficult to, I guess, like route and finish.
Yeah, I think as a Noble as well, pointing out there in chat that Hera small key would be probably the worst one in the end.
Alright, looks like, another further investment here on Gamma side. He is going to, looks like he can at least steal the small key from the back, before
that's what Humbug did as well. So.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah,
maybe I think
that's how Humbug found the pod small key.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, he did Bicky. Alright, thank you. Yeah, thanks Alex, and thank you, Breathless Sleep, for reminding me. Alright, looks like though, Humbug is gonna pick up and do, looks like a North Dark World loop, maybe before kind of heading back over to, you know, Village of Outcasts.
Alright. Oh, there's a fire rod in Kingston.
Okay.
Oh, there's a big key too.
Jeez!
Jesus
my
Christ.
gosh! Alright, we've got progression here, left and right. Those boots are, not only of course going to pay off in dividends for speed, but yeah, we saw fire rod here in Kingston on Humbug's side. We're going to see hookshot eventually on both sides when they eventually bonk it off on the library. But yeah, with that big key, also Skull Woods actually looks like Skull Woods is also going to be another clearable dungeon for both of these guys.
Yeah, well, the worst part here is that we still need a small key to Skullwoods before we can actually do anything with Skull. Because we stole a key,
yeah,
so...
that's true, that's right, we did steal the key, yeah, so we are gonna have to be able to find something.
But we could get that check with that bridge chest in Skullwoods if you really want to go there.
That's true. And nothing would, of course, preclude that bridge chest also being a skull with small key. I mean, chances are, pretty low, but well, the game probably sometimes doesn't care about how high the chances are. Small key too.
Small key. Okay.
Ice. Okay. Certainly going to be a nice key to have. We do have a lot of good things, for Ice Pals. Get the fire rod. We do have the big key, so we don't have to necessarily go back and abandon the big chest. We also do have a small key, very great for routing. Oh, Humbugh also remembering that Zora is actually, still open with, more cash than what he knows to do with, and he can basically finish up this check. Actually pretty, again, this is actually very efficient routing for him.
Yeah, this is the routing you want to with Catfish and Zora, so... Okay, never mind. Zora is boring as always.
Yeah, not even gonna pick up to see what compass that is, but this is gonna be peace of mind here, on Humbugh's side. Most likely Gamma as well, if he kind of follows in Humbugh's footsteps.
Well, I think the fun part here is like whenever Humbugh picks up that big key to Skullwoods, when will he go back there?
Oh yeah,
because that's a required big key.
Yeah, I mean, right, so even for, Destination Matter, in this case, whether Desert is a pendant or crystal, we have to complete all the dungeons. Humbugh, go back!
Humbugh.
Okay, what? What?
Did he pick it up? Or...
I swore, like, when he went in, I saw the hookshot still on the library, right?
Yeah. I don't know if something happened there on the feed, but...
Well, so if he goes into... Okay, alright.
Okay, thank God.
Alright.
I got worried there for a second. Whew. Okay, never mind.
I was gonna say, he might be in a rude awakening if he, goes into Swamp right now and then doesn't have the hookshot later. But thank you, Philly, one of our awesome trackers, keeping us straight, for sure.
Yeah, I thought I lost my mind there for a second, but it would also be weird if he ended up going down to Swamp Palace now and he never picked up that hookshot, so makes sense that he picked it up.
Yeah. Alright, okay. Alright, Gamma picking up his fire rod. So now, of course, he's got... it's actually going to be a good question when he decides to go back to Skullwoods. He just kind of needs to, again, needs a Skullwood small key, but also that is going to be something that's open to him later.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what Swamp Palace got. This is going to be interesting. We got a map to Desert, so not anything in the first chest. Well, more bombs, always nice.
Yeah, sorry, just bearing with us a little bit of technical difficulties. But yeah, we're back here just in time to see Gamma is very well positioned to pick up that compass that Humbugh denied us, which is in this case Pod.
Now we can count items.
Yes, now we can also count. I mean, the compasses really, are very useful, I think, like not only for, us as viewers, we can count along, but also, just in case, you maybe, forgot a, an item or two.
I feel like picking up compasses in, cross keys, because but like you said, whenever you fail to count your items,
And it certainly has never happened, of course, in the history of racing, that anyone has mistracked or miscounted items in a dungeon before. Never.
Nah, that would never happen. We random runners would never forget, right?
Alright, looks like Gamma is gonna finish up, remembering, of course, that the hookshot here is in the library. As we, very clearly see here on Humbugh's side, he is 100% in this case picked up the hookshot.
Yeah, I think that's our confirmation we needed,
yes.
right?
Yeah, of course, this is also pretty early, also very common, to see runners a full clear Swamp Palace on their first go, so left side swamp is not going to be really an option, or sorry, going to the back necessarily isn't always going to be like the first thing that runners do.
Nah, you can't really skip out on left side swamp in like any key sanity modes. Like you can't.
Yeah, it's just too much. Right, because in this case there's guaranteed 2 items here, as opposed to maybe in a non-key setting, right? Like, oh, is it the map and the compass? Like, I don't want to do left side swamp for nothing, but yeah, they're definitely going to be.
And we got that annoying Thieves Town small key out of the way as well on left side swamp, so that's always nice. That's one of those that you might have to skip out on, and then you feel bad because you got like a go mode item in the big chest of the thieves. So always beautiful to see. Oh, look at that, got a sand cart as well. That's nice to get inside Swamp Palace. A little bit more of the diver down action here from Humbugh. If we can get the get it working here. There we go. Second bottle. Always nice with bottles. Alright, so nothing so far out of value.
Yeah, it actually does look like, other than that, left side swamp dip, which, well, you're always going to want to see that small key to Thieves Town, before you end up really, going to the back of Thieves Town. Other than that, we do a second bottle with a B, that could come in handy, but yeah, nothing really of note here.
Yeah, well, at least you get the dungeon cleared, but...
Yeah, that is true.
But it's not like you're getting excited, but...
yeah. But of course, Humbugh here taking down Argus, what we are going to be pretty excited about, having that Tempered Sword for Argus. Again, of course, no references to any of the previous races, but, this is, having Tempered Sword to take down Argus, which Humbugh did a very nice job with, it's going to be a lot nicer than, having, let's say, like, Fighter Sword or like Master Sword.
Yeah, and that's another crystal, but not anything out of value in here.
Yeah, yeah. We did pick up another GT small key, which is kind of always nice to see. We know that a bunch of them going to show up, of course, eventually. In terms of access, nothing's going to be really immediately helpful.
Yeah, this is good also from Humbugh's side because he remembers there's a small key here in Lake Highway. So pod small maybe?
Yeah, maybe pod. Yeah, that's right. And Humbugh hasn't been back over to the Eastern Palace area, or I guess like the second time. So especially if this is gonna be a pod small. Pod's gonna be looking pretty good.
And it's a Mr. Meyer small.
Yes, not quite the pod we're looking for. Meyer, of course, the first key is going to be pretty nice to have, right? Going to save you a couple room transitions in order to get through, but yeah, nothing super required at this point.
Yeah, so we have at least a few locations left, but we're running a little bit dry here, to be honest, with where progression could be. But also, we haven't seen everything from Gamma's side that he picked up early on. So
yeah. So Alex, where do you think those myths are? This seems to be, a pretty big piece of the puzzle here that we don't have.
Well, I would assume at least early, like one of the few chests in pod maybe.
Oh.
looks like it's Pod at this point.
That is a good point. Yeah, I mean, in terms of right, we have a small key to Thieves Town. You know, we can't really keep going without that big key. So, yeah, and you know, can't get into like let's say Ice Palace. You know, because we don't have mitts. Can't really get into like Maya or Turtle Rock because we don't have mitts. Yeah, so Pod's actually. I think you're right. It's looking pretty good.
Actually, we got Pyramid, and we have access to 2 chests inside Castle Tower at this point as well.
I was really hoping that Pod would just be the answer because that's at least like a reasonable dungeon for them to go to, and then you decide to bring up all these lesser convenient checks for these runners.
It's only because I remember that we have a lamp here that puts everything Castle Tower into logic. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, as Humbugh's gonna pick up his lamp very shortly, or maybe he already did. He already did. Thanks, Billy. Yeah, that is actually very correct.
Then again, we still have 1 item left in Skull Woods as well in the back, in the very back.
Oh, that's right. You have the bridge chest. Oh, that is gonna be. That is not a location you want to go back to without a small key.
Yeah, that's. Well, there's. Oh, I actually forgot that we put up an ice rod in here in Thieves.
Oh yeah, that's right, ice rod and mushroom. Oh hey, actually, have we turned in the mushroom yet?
I don't think Gamma did, but we could actually. I think maybe get Humbugh will fake powder maybe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's true. That's true.
But there's the Skull of Woods. So let's see what Humbugh does here. Now he got the big key to Skull. But I don't think he will go there. Maybe. Okay, maybe.
Yeah, I guess maybe if you're just in the area, it's not going to be too, I guess, like fast, slow of a check, right? Because, you're in C-shaped house, just a couple screen transitions away, and in this particular case, right, we did see Gamma pick up the big key up to Desert in the Skullwoods big chest, so something could be very useful for him.
Yeah, this is a really required big key. You can't get anything in there right now, but you definitely need a big key in the end.
Yeah,
So let's see what the Humbugh decides to do here. He's in Skullwood's area. Okay, he's going to actually go to the back here.
Oh, interesting. Alright, so maybe this is going to be worth it, for him. Again, it's not probably the very incentivized for you to do like a one-off check, but in this case, looks like Humbugh is willing to combine the remaining open checks here in Skullwoods, or not.
Okay.
Maybe. Oh, I wonder if he thought like, oh, I could just go beat Skullwoods right now, and then he realized as he was going back there, he doesn't have a small key.
Then he unfortunately got mirror bonked. Okay, let's see what's on Pyramid. A small key. Don't pick it up.
Gamma did a double take.
Then it's a small key to Turtle Rock, and that's actually our second one, I think. Yeah, that's our second one. So that's we need 1 more to actually clear a dungeon. We need 2 more if we want to get every item.
Yeah, and of course, with 3 small keys, typically, people are probably willing to go up and explore and finish up Turtle Rock. You're just going to leave behind the vanilla big key chests. But it looks like the Gamma's going to do a little bit of cleanup here. As you were mentioning earlier, what else do we have open? We've got the Pyramid, which we just see was a Turtle Rock small key. And we've got the first 2 checks here of Castle Tower.
And who knows, maybe we'll get a second Castle Tower here.
I was actually just thinking that, because it's like, you really kind of would like to be able to find the second Castle Tower small key somewhere out in the open, so then, you don't have to necessarily make that difficult decision of, do I want to come here potentially for that small key?
Well, that was nothing in there, and also Humbugh going back to that Spike Cave check that Gamma did earlier, so... They're doing whatever the other one did, and now Gamma's going to do Dark Cross as well. So they're pretty even at this point.
Yeah, in this case, of course, we're going to actually be able to see, everything on Gamma's side because he actually does have the lamp. Versus Humbugh, where we just kind of see a couple sparkles to lead our way.
So I assume at this point that we're going to see Pod here pretty soon.
Yeah, because I think we were talking about what do we even have access to at this point? We could, even though we did pick up both sides Desert Palace big key, we can't actually get into Desert. We don't have a book. We don't have mitts. Even though we do kind of have everything else.
Yeah, so it looks like it's Pod because we have checked everything else, I think. Okay, here's the mushroom turn in actually from the Gamma side. I guess we haven't seen that one.
And actually, I think Humbugh actually just did it very early. Actually, like right before this. Wasn't I think maybe it was a heart container or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, but yeah, again, but I think this is like they're just kind of retracing each other's steps. This is probably going to be Humbugh's check to do Pyramid, and then probably 2 checks in Castle Tower. He doesn't do Dark Cross because he already did it from the back. But yeah, well, alright, Gamma looks like he's just going to be very slightly ahead of Humbugh going into Palace of Darkness.
I think the best part with this race between these two, it's really close and nothing is like really opened up. So they can't really. They can't really have any big divergence at this point, so they're just gonna follow each other's footsteps at this point.
Yeah, and of course, most likely in this case, probably gonna find the mitts, as you just said, somewhere in the front of Pod, right? We do have, let's look at our tracker here real quick, one small key, so we at least get a little bit more access.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun to see how Gamma decides to do with his small key here.
Oh yeah.
If he goes through the middle, or if he's gonna save it. There's different ways to actually. Well, I'd assume that there's at least one pod small key here in Pod now, because we haven't really found anything like any pod smalls. Okay, big key to throw a rock, really required, but we can't do anything with it.
Yeah, it looks like actually we're just picking up a lot of things that will be useful and required later. Turtle Rock small key, Turtle Rock big key actually certainly could be another one of those big keys that are difficult to find. And so always really glad to be able to see these things show up.
Yeah, like you're always happy with finding the big keys early on, because it will help you later. It's just like the annoying small keys that you will have to find only like really late into the scene. So.
Humbugs, oh jeez. Alright, get a little bit of traffic here, trying to get Kiki safely across to the Palace of Darkness entrance.
There's a shovel on the
gee. And a bow lock bow. We've never seen that in Pod before.
Oh god, no, never. Straight up never.
Alright, okay, well, that's right, actually, yeah, so I think Nobly here in chat also reminding us that Humbugh actually has not finished Eastern Palace. What did we just find on Gamma side?
A butter sword?
Oh, well, okay, that's pretty nice. I think so. We basically just need what? Actually, we're probably not going to get half magic in this case for a runner, so this is a pretty decent loadout in terms of offense, right? You got gold sword, you got silvers. I think these runners could probably handle execution at this point.
I'd assume that, depending on that, they're both in the finals of this tournament. Yeah. So if they can't handle their execution, I would be very worried. Yeah.
Alright, so it looks like, though, in efforts to save his pot smalls, Gamma is actually going to do Mimics twice in this case.
Yes, Gamma is doing everything he can to save his keys, which makes... Okay. Gamma.
Alright, need to hit the switch first.
So Gamma's gonna decide to go to the back of that's beautiful of Gamma.
That's actually right. So yeah, this is actually very efficient use in this case of his keys, trying to get as many items as possible. And of course, we're gonna see in this case Humbugh pick up the big key to Pod off of Armos Knights very shortly. But yeah, again with also the big key, in Gamma's position, he's gonna be able to check the big chest as well.
Yeah, so we're gonna get some hammer jumping here as well. Maybe pick up okay, there's another cane. And not junk.
Yeah, not quite as useful in this case, just because we already have the cape, from like Kakariko. We already have, the other red cane in this case, which was actually a lot better. So yeah, no one's really gonna bother too much with this.
And there's the Pod big key for Humbugh, so it's gonna be interesting to see how he will use his keys. But I'd assume that he will do the same thing as Gamma does. Like there's too many checks in here. You can always come
Yeah.
back later with like 1 or 2 small keys to finish off the dungeon.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there are 6 pot keys out there, right? Of course, we're gonna need all 6 logically speaking, but we've seen, for example, there was that lumberjack one, right? Maybe we don't need it or something like that, right? And yeah, these guys are gonna basically try and get away with using as few keys in this case as possible.
And there's nothing in pod more than bow and shovel, so I guess shovel's going to be the answer.
Yeah, everything that was useful basically was here. That was no small key required, or just the bow in this case.
Yeah, they just checked that Gamma could have done when he cleared up Eastern the first time. So.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. All right. So Gamma taking that shovel immediately over and going to check it out immediately. What are we gonna do? So this is...
Actually, Humbugh uses key in the middle here, so...
Okay. Well, he's certainly not gonna be missing out on too much at the moment. What is this?
Small key to desert?
Oh, jeez. Okay, well, I guess a small key to desert, he's gonna open up 2 more checks for us when we eventually be able to get inside.
Oh, this is called the bridges, I think, that will have progression.
Wow.
Oh, God.
That's so awful. Oh, my God.
That's a check Humbugh could have done early when he was in there. Okay, this is gross.
That is, jeez.
I
think this is basically our last location at this point, right?
This is the last location because they have nothing else to actual check. I'm looking at Gammachoo's tracker right now. It's map tracker and there's nothing.
Mm-hmm. What an awful feeling.
I think I might have cursed them with the bridges earlier.
I think we did, and I'm also just thinking, it's because like Humbugh also made his way over here first, right? Almost made it basically to the back of Skullwoods before mirroring out, and I hope he doesn't like kick himself too much for basically making that decision. Yeah,
so this is awful. This is a hot garbage 80 keys finance. So this is probably
this is a unique content for us as viewers because how often are you going to have progression here in the back of Skullwoods without a Skullwood small key?
I mean, not often. Not often at all.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be book, could be mitts, could be powder.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there are actually a lot. We're not potentially even done with the chain quite yet.
Arrow small, big swamp, big key.
Big chat too.
Oh, okay, thieves.
Okay. All right. Okay. At least we get a little bit more progression here. So somewhere back in the Thieves' Town, we're gonna find something else.
Vanilla mitts.
What were you saying about the seed earlier, Alex? I think I'm gonna, I'm tending to agree with you here.
Hot garbage.
Yep.
But it's good that it's like they last locate whatever they last locate because it's gonna make this one really close. And I would say the late game between these two will be even more closer, or maybe somebody pulls ahead because I did the wrong move. So
yeah. No, you're definitely right in that. Like,
never mind. Never mind. I was like, okay. Julian Ninja mentioned about mitts for ped pull, so yeah, mitts cannot be at least on ped, but something could be on it. So I got excited for a few seconds, but realized ice pals were our green pendants, so I got a little bit sad.
Okay, I gotcha. Well, I guess like a ped pull would not be, I guess, like super unreasonable, just because we still, don't have a Skullwood small key. So then, there is going to be a little bit more reason, potentially, if they could time it, so they can basically go back and beat Skullwoods and then also pull ped if they have that opportunity.
Yeah, so the main question is, where is all the small keys for Skullwoods, though? That's my question.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, so maybe they're just all here in the back of Thieves' Town.
Or maybe they should have used their keys better. Gone straight for Mothiel instead.
Oh, jeez, that is gonna be.
There's our progression on our mitts on Mothiel. Oh, okay, never mind.
So close. Not quite
boring.
Not quite the middle of Vicky chest. Not quite the vanilla location in the big chest, but we did find our myths, which does open up a ton of, but basically the rest of the seed.
Yeah, there's a few options open. Definitely gonna be fun to see who makes the right play after this, because, well, we have a green pendant open of Ice Palace.
Yeah, and of course, yeah, Thieves Town is our second pendant that we, of course, do see here, both on both actually sides of the screen. You know, we do have a capital P, indicating that is going to be our pendant. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see who goes for what first, because there's a lot of stuff to. We're really far away still from go mode, so.
Yes. Yeah, we definitely got pretty bottlenecked here, you know, on the one, you know, the bridge chest. Have to go back there without a Skullwood small key in order to get the big key to Thieves Town to make further progression. But yeah, but at least in this case, you know, as you said, it's both runners basically, you know, did the exact same thing, so it's not going to be really much time difference or you know, time given to either runner.
The only thing that Gamma's done more of is pod at this point, compared to humbugh. But I guess for humbugh it makes sense as well, using that small key ad to still stay in logic with that dungeon. So makes sense.
Yeah, alright, Gamma's taking down blind, kind of hopefully stay on script. Of course, you know, just because that both runners, of course, do have, or sorry, at least Gamma has a gold sword. Not going to be any damage difference. Still going to need your basic 9 hits. Does a good job, you know, staying on script. Blind doesn't necessarily stand a chance.
Ooh,
you get a small key too?
Okay, that's the last GT small, I think.
Yeah, so is GT... I mean, so we don't have the big key yet, but I mean, we have all 4 GT small keys? Looking a little suspicious.
GT big key inside GT?
Yeah, maybe. Alright, that was a nice hooky speed here, getting out of Thieves Town.
Yeah, it is definitely... this is going to be Smith Chain. This is the last thing you have done. Like, you have... in this area, because you have done Graveyard Ledge. You only have Skullwoods later to clear out. So you're 100% done with this area, with Smith Chain, Hammer Pegs, and all that stuff.
Are we missing powder potentially?
Oh yeah, powder. Never mind.
Well, I mean, like, this is also very reasonable, though. You got the mirror, you know, you've got the flute to be able to do Smith Chain pretty efficiently. And honestly, if you come back, if you find powder later, this place is just like a flute away. You know, it's not going to be a big deal in terms of isolation.
Yeah, it's a fast check, so you really don't miss out on anything.
Alright, Humbugh, though, keeping on his blind script, really nicely done.
Well, there's a lot more rupees here, so...
Yeah, we paid 10 rupees, we got 300 back. I think that's a pretty good deal.
Good old money laundry in Hyrule.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like they're still going to keep following each other's trace here, so... Nobody wants to pull... I'm gonna go and beat this dungeon, that dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, right now, you know, we have so much, you know, we've picked up so much extra stuff, basically, right, going into dungeons. You know, we have, in this case, the myths, right, they open up desert. You know, we've got both the big key and the small key, so we don't have to leave anything behind there. We've got Ice Palace open up for us, you know, along with that green pendant, you know, because we have, well, the myths to get in, and then we've got Hammer, we've got Fire Rod, you know, we've got basically everything that we could ever ask for.
Yeah, we have all of Dark Death Mountain as well.
Oh,
so.
Yeah, that's true as well.
But Gamma is pulling it on good old Ice Palace here, which we have Cadence to Mario. We got Big Key, we got a small key as well. So with Samaria, with Icebreaker, this is a fast dungeon.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Yeah, finding that Cadence to Mario definitely sooner rather than later is going to basically save a lot of time here in Ice Palace. I wonder, I guess in this case, after Humbugh presumably drops off his purple chest, I guess I'm curious to see where he ends up going. Goes to Desert, goes to Dark Death Mountain, you know, or just kind of follow in Gamma's footsteps here and dips Ice.
I'd assume that, okay. Yeah, I assume at least it's gonna be Ice Palace. Maybe he goes to Desert, since we have Big Key and Small Key. I actually have no idea, whatever Humbugh wants to do at this point.
Hey, speaking of pod keys, well, we got a pod key here in the vanilla big key chest of Ice Palace.
Okay, so there, humbugh is going to ice, like you said. This is the perfect thing to do at this point. This is a fast dungeon these days. Another small key to... Well, okay, there's a second...
okay.
So I wonder what that small key is now.
Yeah, so I mean, well, with this Castle Tower small key, are you just gonna go do Aghanim? Like, I mean, like sooner rather than later? Like, because I know that, you know, typically, like, if you can plan it, right, you can do GT, and then, you know, mirror immediately over to do Aga, and then, you know, get your heart, you know, refills, and then drop down again.
Almost in big chest of ice pals. I don't know what you would do. I think the one that does it first maybe feels behind.
Yeah, and especially, you know, like, we do remember there was a small key on Lumberjack. Like, that, I don't know if that's more incentive for you to be able to, you know, go over and claim that small key.
I mean, that it could be a pod small key. It could be Hera small, Meyer small, Turrock small.
Yeah, that's true. We have a lot of useless small keys still left to get. But speaking of not useless small key, we found a Skullwood small key, which you know, in this particular seed is actually pretty highly rated.
Yeah, so now when you're done here, you can actually pull Ped and clear out Skullwoods.
Oh yeah, that's actually really good points.
Well, Moth will be out of logic because you still need one more small key, but that's a different story.
Yes. Again, you know, logic is a suggestion at this point. If these guys can basically finish up the seed, you know, with a fewer number of logically required keys, they're definitely going to do so.
Oh, right.
Was that our first ball? Skullwood small?
Yeah, that was our first.
Okay. Yeah. There are 3 of them in the pool, and so I think on a previous version of randomizer, or at least certainly in the entrance version, there's a guaranteed Skullwood small keys in pinball room. That is definitely not the case here. We just see it was a map to something. So yeah, there are definitely, you know, three Skullwood smalls in the wild.
Yeah, with Butter Sword, Coulter is nothing to deal with. That one. Okay, there's a small key to Pod.
Oh, jeez. Okay, we definitely suddenly we are swimming in a nice small keys. Not only Pod, we also got a couple small.
So with those, I think that's 2 small keys of Pod here. So Gamma could technically just only have 1 item left if he decides to go to Pod and just beat the dungeon.
Yeah, and I guess assuming maybe for, you know, Humbugh, if and when he does clear out the back of Pod, I don't think he has to go through like double mimics, you know, kind of like what Gamma did. So I think he's going to basically save a little bit of time, at least, of getting all the items out of Pod. All right. That was Quake. Looks like.
Okay, so we need to find Quake. Should be quite easy, right? Maybe ? We'll. Quake cannot be in GT at least, because that's a crystal.
Yes, it is a crystal, yeah. It's always kind of one of those nice things where I think maybe in AD keys you're just kind of hoping, in this case, that, you know, Meyer and Turtle Rock are crystals, because you know in this case that you don't have to necessarily search through GT basement, you know, for at least your medallion entries, which are basically just another, you know, ice rod.
Yeah, at this point, the only thing that can actually be in GT is probably GT Big Key, since we found everything else.
Yeah. So surprisingly, right, we've got actually a Swamp Palace small key. We've got both our Castle Tower small keys. You know, we've got we don't have to find Quake in GT. We already got a couple of medallions. Yeah, hopefully it's going to be, you know, a nicer seed at this point.
So the only thing we actually need is one more Turrock small key, the Big Key. And Big Kid Meyer and GT to go mode. Oh, and Quake, of course. Quake.
Yeah, but of course, you know, the fewer things that you might actually potentially be in GT, at least the basement, the better.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, anything can still happen in this one, because if you skip one check, then your go mode is probably there. So, and I think it just comes down to whatever they want to risk it. Gamma's definitely cleaning up dungeons.
Yeah, well, I mean, so Humbugh looks like he is kind of following the pedestal progression, because, you know, we just finished up Ice Palace claimed our green pendant. He is gonna go back with that Skullwood Small Key that he found an iced tea from Ice Palace. So he's gonna probably, in this case, beat Moth and then mirror over and see what the pedestal has to offer.
Yeah, you're done with this area until you get like Potter, which we'll get here from pedestal. Never mind.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I'm not gonna say stuff like this anymore because it just comes. There's a Turtle Rock Small Key, by the way, in Desert. So that's nice. 3 small keys for the Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I mean, so right. So with that, you know, we don't actually know what the medallion entry is for Turtle Rock, but we've got 2 of them already. You know, coupled with the fact that we haven't been up to Dark Death Mountain yet after we got Myth, suddenly looking, you know, maybe a bit more appealing.
Yeah, I'd probably go there sooner or later. Like Dark Death Mountain got so many checks right now. Would be quite crazy. Well, we have done pretty much everything we can do on down here, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm also maybe potentially looking for that green pendant turn-in to see, you know, at least on Humbugh side, that's going to be a bit more appealing.
There's a big key to Meyer. Wow.
Oh,
okay.
Alright. Alright, well, so that's going to probably drive Humbugh over to check at least the Meyer area. You know, we did see from Gamma side that it is Quake. We haven't seen that medallion quite yet, so, but we certainly do know that in this case that big key to Meyer is still required, just not immediately useful.
Yeah, so it just comes down to, like, find Quake, come on.
Find Quake, yep.
Right here in pedestal, right? It's just that easy.
Let's see this. Alright, we don't have a book, so we're just going, but we've got all 3, so what does the pedestal here have in store for us today?
Okay, never mind.
Just bombs. Quite the disappointment, but at least in this case, you know, Humbugh, again, he has routed this pretty efficiently.
No, so what is Gamma's play here? Oh yeah, it's definitely 100% going to be.
Oh, it looks like it looks like the same thing. Oh, I bet both of these guys are thinking, man, it's so nice to be able to have miss so I don't have to go all the way around, because I'm basically just blocked for this Dark World entrance.
I've been going around that part so many times already. They're like, oh, thank God for bits.
And, you know, and certainly at this point, I think both of them have gotten quite used to dashing to the back of Skullwoods. I think they've done this, what, like 3 or 4 times by now, each?
Humbugh and Gamma goes room.
Yeah, alright, so Humbugh, yeah, in this case, Gamma, Humbugh, switching places. You know, it looks like, you know, Humbugh decided to dip the back of Skullwoods first, in this case, versus Gamma, who decided to do Desert. But really gonna pick up the, kind of the same things that each other did, in this case. So Humbugh's gonna pick up his red mail from the map chest, and then another Turtle Rock Small Key, and then, I guess I'm kind of curious to see how things gonna shake out at the end. Gamma might have a little bit of time lead, maybe potentially going up the mountain.
Yeah, it's either gonna be like go turn in green pendant and just.
Oh yeah, that's right. We still have green pendant. Yeah.
I think Gamma might just turn in green pendant and beat up Pod and then go up to the mountain. I think that's probably what he will do at this point, because he will only have 1 item left in Pod when he's done.
All right. Yeah, of course, Gold Sword doesn't really do much more damage than Temperate Sword, but still, you know, just kind of swat at the thing, and then, you know, Mothio eventually goes down.
I mean, it's real nice to just have the Barter Sword, no matter what, just cleaning up the Skullwoods.
Alright, so this is probably gonna be...
Right, I just realized what Jolo Ninja Eichel mentioned. Gamma never opened up the middle door of Pod, so the way he's gonna route Pod will be differently. I think well, he's not going to go and check out all the doors and chests and all that stuff when he's in there. So
it's yeah, probably not quite the dream of triple mimics for Pod for everybody. Speaking of Pod, looks like that's exactly where we're going, back in. So most likely this is going to be a combination then of a turning in green pendant after Pod?
Yeah, this is...
Or
interesting,
before.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Green Pennant, what do you have?
Alright, yeah, so just like Gamma did a little bit earlier, silver arrows make a landmo super easy and fast.
And it is a small key to... Okay. Okay.
Alright.
That's our second small wood small.
Yeah, that is our second small. Wow. Alright, nice logic, of course. I mean, we already did, of course, know that we did have to go to the back of Skull Woods, you know, with the fire rod, with basically no small keys. But, you know, a little bit more insult to injury because, you know, the Thieves Town big key was in the back of Skull Woods, which, of course, led to our mitts, and then, you know, required for Cold Stare, and now we go back.
So... Well, okay, so Yama actually used the middle lore here, so he will only be able to get the item.
Like just helmet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, and of course we got a very helpful compass in this case to help us count along, a confirmation that we do have, looks like vanilla big key chest and harmless hellway.
We got a Aga play from Humbugh here. So he's definitely hunting down that small key on Lumberjack.
Yeah, it definitely looks like this. Yeah, and of course, you know, this is, you know, all digits key sanity. We were very fortunate in this case to find both our castle tower keys pretty early. So certainly no hunt for there, and looks like actually Humbugh, remembering potentially that there is a small key, mystery small key sitting on Lumberjack, could be still very useful to him at this point. Just gonna defeat Aga now, not gonna necessarily wait for the convenient refill, or health and magic refill, right before Ganon.
So in this case, if this is gonna pay out for Humbugh here, maybe Pod, not, I don't think Pod at least, but at least like Turtle Rock Small.
Oh yeah, Turtle Rock Small will actually be huge. I mean, so right, so I think you mentioned earlier, 3 Turtle Rock Small keys plus the big key is enough to clear out and finish Turtle Rock, because we can always steal the Poke Key. But again, we are going to have to leave behind the vanilla big key chest. And so if you can find a 4th one, you can basically just, you know, clear out everything, right, in Turtle Rock. Don't have to necessarily worry about anything being left behind.
And by the way, I love the shoutouts to Gamma for using bomb strats on Zelda.
Yeah. Oh man, you guys also see that, you know, there's probably a reason why Castle Tower is intended for you to only have Master Sword as opposed to Gold Sword that we're kind of basically seeing Humbugh just take down.
Imagine having Butter Sword in NMG. And...
Yeah, oh dude, that would... everything would just go down so fast. You know, forget this, you know, you gotta spin and, you know, whatever, beams and whatever, it just one slash, everything's dead.
Okay, what's the next play from Gamma here? It's gonna be Dark Death Mountain. This makes sense. Like, you got everything up here. You can see what the requirements is for Turtle Rock as well. Maybe for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, maybe. After the Dead Rock, you know, decided to have a word with Gamma. It looks like he had to kind of redo, but the second time around looks like it's gonna be okay. Alright. Meanwhile, though, Humbugh, well, again, Butter Sword certainly makes things a little bit nicer, but, you know, very quickly making it up the tower, and so let's try and take down Aghanim. And, well, you know, this is going to be just one of those fights that, you know, I certainly don't see Humbugh dying, you know, with, Red Mail and Gold Sword. It would just have to kind of wait out the fight, you know, and when Gamma eventually does, it's going to be the exact same patterns.
I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised if Humbugh somehow managed to die, but it would be very hard to die here.
I did hear, though, that Gamma and Humbugh are both very skilled runners, and you know what? It's going to take a lot of skill to die at Aghanim. So I can certainly give you that. Aghanim is not being very kind, though.
It's Quake for Turtle Rock as well. It is
Quake, yeah. I have totally lost track of blue balls, but the fact that Humbugh is still going, and every single time I look over is just another blue ball, is not really promising.
There's a small key to hit. Oh, Hera. So it's not Hera small on Lumberjack.
Okay,
there's
that's
small
good to know. Another
pod.
Oh, another one, pod. Alright.
And a map.
That we already know, both from defeating the dungeon and also talking to Sahashwell.
So,
So you think Quake is just here, right here, is for Bunny Cave? You know, kind of like key under the doormat type of thing.
I'm trying to like figure out where it could be otherwise.
I mean, well, so I guess we're still missing a lot of pod keys to put, you know, Harmless Hellway and a Vanilla Big Key chest in Logic. And I was actually wondering if it was potentially be on pod, or in pod. It could also be, you know, Hera Basement. Maybe that's exactly in this case where, where Gamma's going.
That's probably where it's going to end up being at this point, because I can't really see it. They don't have that many options left, to be honest. So could be that you get Swamp Big.
Oh jeez, Swamp Big would be pretty terrible.
Oh, okay. So now Attila is in Logic. So
yeah, so that's the remaining of our Skull Woods small keys. You know, so we could still pick up a book from somewhere. If a book is here, you know, at least either tablet's pretty convenient, you know, for Gamma, but, well, you know, Bombo's tablet is certainly not very convenient.
This doesn't feel good for Humbugh, I would assume. Getting a Skullwood small after doing Aga, that's not gonna feel good for him at all.
Yeah, I mean, right. Unfortunately, like it's probably not necessarily like the key that, you know, he knows it's going to be logically required, but, you know, it still does take a little bit of time to actually get over there and, like, bonk the tree and get the key from, you know, from Lumberjack, so...
Here it comes. Hera Big Chest got Quake.
Ah, it is Quake. Alright, so that at least things are...
Tur Rock is open, and Mire is open, so... pick your dungeon.
Yeah. Alright, looks like dungeon of choice for Gamma is going to be Mire first. We do have one small key. We have the big key, so routing and at least getting everything out of Mire certainly is not going to be too big of a deal here for Gamma. So actually, yeah, I was going to ask, so Alex, so what are we missing at this point? After, you know, we just picked up Quake?
GT Big. GT Big is our go mode. But, on the other hand, we still only have 3 small keys to Turtle Rock, so... GT Big and Lava Chest, if you decide to skip...
Oh, jeez. Yeah, and then, of course, you know, we're still going to be searching in Mire. We did pick up a compass along the way, so we're going to be able to count along with Gamma for all the stuff he picks up here in Mire. But, you know, I think you did mention some other big key potential, like, you know, big key to Swamp. You know, we really don't want to see another big key in there.
Oh, we still have Powder Book, GT Big, well, Swamp Big. And, well, this unlocks Pyramid Fairy as well. Mire beating Mire.
Yeah, that's actually also a very good point. We do have 2 more items here in Pyramid Fairy after Mire completion for Gamma. Alright.
And also this, like Wall Kicks pointing out, I think Gamma's actually just want to play it safe here, since his life in the tournament is on the stake here. So I think he's just playing a little bit more thorough than normal.
Yeah, so I guess, like, presumably then he won't necessarily do, like, cutscene chest then? You know, before he ends up going to Vitreous?
Yeah, I think he might skip that. Maybe. I don't know what's going through Gamma's head right now, but with Quake in Hera Basement, and maybe you feel behind as well. I don't know at all.
I guess, well, right, so I mean, I guess in this case, like, you could have come up the mountain a little bit earlier, right, and gotten that Quake, so maybe he, again, yeah, so that could certainly be something, like, trying to play a little bit defensive, like, if Humbugh had gone up the mountain first, gotten that Hera Basement small key, and then gotten Quake, you know, maybe there is something, you know, here pretty useful here in Mire that he doesn't want to, you know, kind of leave behind.
Yeah.
Alright,
it looks like we're skipping at least cutscene chest, so...
Yeah, it looks like the Humbugh actually is going to use up all of his keys. At least it looks like searching pod here, at least the backup pod. We know that from Gamma's side that there was no additional small key, you know, in the backup pod, so he's going to have to find another one if he wants. Oh no, here he did have one. Never mind. Looks like he's just going to do some cleanup.
Yeah, he's doing the cleanup that Gamma did earlier.
Yeah.
The first time he was around. But humbugh definitely needs to get up to the mountain as fast as possible to get that Hera small key, because he's behind right now.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just like this scene in terms of like item placements, right? They haven't really been, the most convenient. It's not like we necessarily want to sit through Hera basement. I mean, in this case, for Gamma's case, right? He didn't really have any options really left to do. And so, a Hera basement was something that was somewhat more forced. But again, like earlier on, like both Gamma and Humbugh were just bottlenecked from basically the Thieves Town Big Key, being in the back of Skullwoods with no Skullwood Smalls. Like, no one wants to go there.
Yeah, nobody wants to go there. I definitely agree.
So silver arrows, we were talking about Gold Sword being, basically taking down Cold Stare, no problems. Silver arrows does the exact same thing here for Vitreous.
Actually, Vitreous is the only boss that can take a few more shots with silver arrows.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we actually need a whopping 2 arrows in this case to take down the big eye.
Okay. Your tournament life, well, okay, not tournament life, but your title that you could have you could win right here.
Yeah.
You need to go and get that quick medallion as soon as possible.
And, while it does look like actually a really nice sync here on the Waffle House screen from both Gamma and Humbugh, so just keep in mind that Humbugh actually has already been up here once, and we actually see, again, from our awesome trackers, Gamma's screen does have lit up the quick medallion, which we just see in Hera Basement. Hera Small Key was in Hookshot Cave, and that is where Gamma's going, that's where Humbugh is going, versus Gamma, he is actually going to go and finish up Turtle Rock.
Now, the main question here, whenever he gets Quake, Humbugh, what will he head straight for Mire? And will he do all of Mire? Because I would assume that Humbugh feels behind right now, since he did Aga for one small key on Lumberjack that was Goldwood small.
Yeah, I mean, I can't actually imagine maybe both runners feeling super behind, at least in the early game, just because they know that in this case the bridge chest of Skullwoods with no small key is very unappealing. But yeah, kind of like as in this case the seed has progressed after that. Certainly Humbugh has taken a little bit more time to check some extra things that did not end up paying out.
Now we do have that extra small to pod that we did not have the first time. So we still have 2 items in pod that could also have GT big, which would be gross.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, alright, so Humbugh checking, in this case, Turtle Rock. Entry for him, he knows in this case is Quake. Looks like he is on the right track, though, going to head over to Hera Basement, just like what Gamma did a little bit earlier. So, yeah, after this, it's going to be a good question of whether or not where he kind of goes after this. Alright, Chomps. Turtle Rock, nothing so far.
Yeah, and interesting. Because we only had 3 small keys here, so there could be potential about that lava chest.
So I am assuming you are checking Mimic Cave? If you haven't found the big key by now?
Yeah, I mean, you're here, so you
yes.
I mean, you have to at this point, I think.
So Gamma did skip cutscene chest, right, in Mire, and so probably maybe that was enough skipping stuff in this case.
I don't think you can actually skip Mimic Cave when you're here. I don't think so. But then again, you never know with Gamma. Gamma tends to do stuff.
There's probably a reason why he is here in the finals of ADT. So we're just totally not even gonna go outside for Turtle Rock. We're going straight to the back to Trinex. So would you check Laser Bridge?
I mean, in this rate, he will probably skip Laser Bridge, I guess. Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. We're gonna probably try and stop predicting what, in this case, Gamma and Humbugh are gonna do. Although it looks like, though, Humbugh is actually gonna follow, at least in a Gamma strategy, gonna go out through Meyer, and, you did have some speculation earlier, Alex, about what Humbugh's gonna do, actually, in Meyer in this case. Be kind of interesting in this case if he just basically goes straight to Vitrius, because we know that, we saw on Gamma side that there wasn't anything useful in Meyer, right?
Yeah, I can't see Humbugh skip that much stuff. He tends to clear more than... He tends to play it safe, normally. But then again, he already did Castle Tower for nothing, so... he might feel behind here.
Hey, look, it's the map to this dungeon! Thank you, Laser Bridge!
Laser Bridge being kind, as always.
Yes. We've got 2 heart pieces so far, and not even a heart refill. And some money. Yes, Gamma is probably regretting his choice to go through Laser Bridge.
Okay, he's going to do at least a spike chest here. And then we will have to wait and see what happens. He's not going straight for a cutscene at least. And also another boss here that's really easy when you have Butter Sword, Trinix.
Yeah.
Gonna go fast. 3 hits with the sword.
Yeah, with the sword. Doesn't even do backdoor. Did we? Oh yeah, that was so fast. 3 slashes already with Gold Sword. Yeah, basically just get the 1 cycle. Yeah, there is definitely a reason why the game puts, in this case, the Gold Sword and Silver Arrows behind the 5-6 crystals. I mean, certainly you have the option, of course, of having Gold Sword here, for Turtle Rock and Trinix.
Small key to pod on Trinix. Gross.
So that's 5 pod smalls now?
Yeah, and Humbugh skips cutscene shots as well.
Okay.
Okay, so no, we're going for GT. We have 4 small keys for GT, so we can do all of it without having to think about anything. Life is good, and that's about it.
So,
okay. So this is if it's not here, I guess for Gamma. You don't want to see having to go back for Turtle Rock, Mimic Cave or Big Chest or anything like that.
Yeah, that's true. Like Turtle Rock right now is so, at least the outside. Well, I guess it maybe depends on what Humbugh does as well in Turtle Rock, but it's certainly going to be somewhat of a liability. Honestly, Book might not even be that bad at this point. Just because there's like an ether tablet right outside, right? At least.
Yeah, Book wouldn't be hard. Like, Book would be okay at this point, because you just mirror out when you have done all of the base. But you have, like, Pyramid Fairy. You still have a few chests here in Meyer, cutscene chests. You got Mimic Cave and Lava chest / big chest of that place and Pod. You could also find Swamp Big here.
Oh, I forgot about Swamp Big.
So there's
there are some pretty terrible locations left with this potential big key. Imagine playing the GT Big Key guessing game potentially here in a all dungeons key sanity seed.
I mean, it could have been possible to do it, but I have a feeling it's not going to be in here, but I could be wrong.
Well, so right. So at least the good news is that, at least for both Humbugh and Gamma, is that there's going to be 0 things of value for them in the climb, right? Once they find the GT Big Key, they are done. They have silver arrows, they have gold sword, they've got, 15 hearts, it looks like at this point. They're not going to need a single thing up there.
I look at that powder.
And that powder!
Yay!
Oh, no.
And a small key to Meyer.
Alright, yeah, we're starting to get a lot of, in this case, small keys that are just not going to be worth their time.
This is... I wonder, how, if any of these two, I'd assume at least Humbugh feels behind. I don't know how Gamma feels.
Yeah, in this case, Gamma hasn't really done anything much extra, but again, I don't know if runners in general ever feel like they're ahead. Maybe Gamma doesn't feel like he's behind as much, potentially, because in this case, he knows, he's seen that Lumberjack small tree or Lumberjack small key, right? And he hasn't done Aga yet, right? So he knows in this case, like if in this case Humbug had done it before, then he's gonna get a little bit of time over him.
Yeah. Well, we haven't found the GT Big yet, so...
Yeah. And the GT Big Key cannot be in the big chest, so for those of you who want to see that big chest open today, today is not gonna be your seed.
Yeah, it's not gonna, even if they found right here and I can go.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they are. They're leading.
Oh, there's mirror.
Hey, yeah. Speaking of the mirror, right? We got everything we need for Turtle Rock now.
And there's still no big key here. Monk ass.
Yeah. All right. Where is this big key? So we've got the chest right above Ice Armos. We've got the 3 checks behind Ice Armos.
Gamma skipped Tile Room, right? Or
yes, we have not done Tile Room. Yes, we also do have Tile Room.
So what do you do if it's not here? That's
going to be certainly a very good question. Yeah, we got 3 checks. I'm sorry, 3 checks behind Ice Armos, 1 potentially for Tile Room if that's what Gamma wants to do. And we haven't really even found anything here in GT Basements. Hopefully, at least for Gamma's sake, what is going to be weighing on your mind the most? Is it going to be Turtle Rock? It's certainly not a place you want to go to.
Oh, there it is.
It's even vanilla.
Well,
all the speculation.
I would say that Gamma's in a really good spot.
Alright, yeah. So 1 hour 38, almost 39. Gamma is in go mode after finding the GT Big Key here in his tower basement. I believe that was also check number 18. Thank you so much, Compass.
Yeah, the Compass being a real friendly person today. Well, okay, so... Well, it's going to be hard for Humbug to actually catch up here.
So certainly right. Gamma being in go mode, and Humbug is still needing to finish up his last dungeon for Turtle Rock. Does have a little bit of a deficit to make up. And on top of that, right, when we did see Gamma go through Turtle Rock, he skipped the entirety of the outside. We haven't quite gotten to that decision point here for Humbug. But at this point, depending on what Humbug wants to do, it could actually be a little bit more of deficit that he needs to make up.
Yeah. So, what does Humbug do? Okay, yeah. He's doing what I expected him to do.
Yeah, and this is again, consistent with what Humbug has been doing so far, trying to cut as few corners as possible. We did see that both Humbug and Gamma decided to skip the cutscene chest in Mire. It looks like Humbug is not willing to kind of give these 2 last checks up.
No, which I understand it. Like, I think he feels behind as well, so he wants to, he hopes that there's something here. Because he maybe thinks that Gamma will skip this, and which he would be correct about it, but...
Yeah, and so we do actually have one thing to note, of course, is that the lead isn't necessarily maybe as big in this case. In Gamma's case, he does have to still clear out Castle Tower. That is something that Gamma hasn't done, which Humbug has, but I think even when Gamma ends up finishing all of his dungeons, he is going to be, I think, still a little bit of a time advantage over Humbug.
And also Gamma just had a really clean gauntlet, so...
Gamma's... Yeah, I was gonna say Gamma's execution, both also for Humbug as well. I mean, he's just been super clean. Okay,
never mind. Work mission.
Minus this room, we just pretend that this room doesn't exist in this case. But execution in general has been very good.
But do we remember how many blue balls Aga 1 had?
Oh yeah, Aga had actually a lot. I saw at least 4 when I was looking over, but it was a lot.
Because I do, like you were saying, Climax, it was a lot, so...
That's actually a good point.
Just depends on how many, left side or right side, and just go straight for Ice Armos. That could save a lot of time, but I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, looks like also, Humbug isn't going to, or Gamma in this case isn't going to give up any more. Sorry, Humbug is not going to give up any more time to Gamma in this case. He's going to do kind of the same things, including Laser Bridge. So no additional time gains.
It looks like, at least right now, that we will have a game 3 between these two.
We will see. We will never call a race until somebody clicks the done button in race time, or maybe someone is just holding over the button until they're actually done on the button and let's go. Alright, dueling boss fights. We got Aghanim 2 here on Gamma side versus Trinex. Looks like it'd be a more traditional backdoor, and not strictly necessary with Gold Sword, but yeah, Humbug. Looks like he's gonna get a 0 cycle.
Humbug just wants to show off right now.
Yeah.
He's like, look at them, look at me. Having some issues here, Gamma, with the Aga pattern, but takes down Aga.
Yeah, luckily, the last one basically was the only hit he needed in this case.
Few sword slashes from Gamma, so I don't think Gamma is that happy right now. Like,
I mean, well, you're an hour 42 in. You haven't seen the dot done yet from your opponent. I don't know. This is also game 2 of the finals. Especially for Gamma, right? He is down a game compared to Humbug. If he wants to stay alive, this is potentially a little bit of added pressure. In this case, to see, I really need to win this in order to force a game 3.
It's not like this seed has been special. Let's just say like that. Progression being where it was in Skullwood's Bridges, you don't see it that often.
Yes, that is correct. I certainly do remember a couple of choice words you had earlier for this scene. When we were going through it the first time around. The fact that you have to go to the Skullwood's Bridge chest with the fire rod with no Skullwood small keys is not a place that you want to go to. Alright, so this is the race right here. We've got the rest of Castle Tower on Gamma side versus a search for the GT Bicky in its vanilla location on Humbug side.
Yeah, and with that mirror out, it's going to go right side. But the main question is, will he go full right side though? That's if he does that, he will be at Ice Armors pretty fast.
Yeah, no, that's actually a good point.
But I don't like Gamma's already at Aga 1, pretty much. So I think it's too much right now for. I think so. The thing is, like, Gamma will have to miss a energy ball or at least 2 on Aga.
Yeah, to maybe because so right now, Humbug is still needs to get through Compass Room. And then, I guess we're going to be a quick question of, in this case, do we actually see him going full right in this case?
He needs to go full right at this point.
Alright, so we're going to have eyes on at least Gamma side. Let's see if we can actually, count in this case how many blue balls we will end up getting.
There's the mirror out from Humbug, so he will not go from the right side.
Yeah, so in this case, we did see a 18 on Humbug side, or on Gamma side when he eventually did a GT. So we get at least 8 more checks. And then, of course, Humbug still does have to climb. Ah, yes. The ever so useful Hyrule Castle map found locked behind all 4 GT small keys. Super.
I mean, that one is super important. Like, how would you ever find your way around in that dungeon?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and again, this is why both Gamma and Humbug are in the finals. Did you even see them doing a map check in Escape? I think not.
That's because they didn't have a map.
You're right. Oh, Yeah, that's just how good they are. They don't even need the map. They just kind of, you know, fumble their way through at the very beginning. Yeah, Gamma is still, yeah, alright, just finished up the Aghanim 1 fight. You know, this is exactly kind of what you want to see in keys. You know, try in this case do Aga 2, land on the pyramid, mirror immediately over to do Aga 1, and then, hey, you got a free heart refill and magic refill as you drop down Ganon.
Yeah, and with Butter Sword and Silver Arrows, this is going to be very fast.
Yes.
Like, it cannot be faster than what we're going to experience here, so... yeah, so... Gamma is in full control, because humbugh haven't picked up that big key yet. So, unless something happens here that we're not going to mention, because I don't want to have that curse upon me. You
don't want to repeat a Spec Rock in this case, Alex?
Yeah, about that. But I would say that Gamma is in cruise control. It's just like Gamma doesn't even know about that.
Yes.
He's probably just looking over to race time and be like, "Don't snipe me! Don't snipe me! Don't snipe me!"
Yeah. I mean, so like minus, I would say like the Skullwoods. Sorry, the Thieves Down Big Key in the back of Skullwoods earlier, right? You know, there were basically a lot of directions, especially after that. So
yeah. But get your GGs in chat for Gammachuu. That will bring this to a game 3.
Yeah, looks like, alright, official time finish is 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 7 seconds. GG's Gamma for game 2. We have a game 3 ready to go.
And when is that game 3, do you know?
I'm going to look it up right now. Alright, looks like Sunday, ZSR at noon EST.
Okay,
so 12 p.m. Yeah.
Everybody tune in on Sunday for more hot garbage seeds in
for more all Dungeons Key Sanity adventures.
Okay. Oh yeah, this was a real adventure. Let's just say like that.
Looks like though with the slight pause here on Humbugh's side, probably saw the done in race time. Probably not going to finish up his climb, and just going to congratulate in this case. GG's to Humbugh or GG's to Gamma. Get your GG's out in chat for Humbugh. Basically finishing out this race.
GG's Humbugh.
Yeah, hopefully we're going to be able to get these guys in to have a chat or two. Speaking of, we do have one GG's Humbugh.
Yeah, GG's.
GG's. Aww.
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 So, Humbugh, did you enjoy the hot garbage that we provided for you today?
It was the adventure.
No. I don't know who came up with this.
Well, there are many admins here that you could talk to and voice your concerns and opinions.
Give me a name.
I saw wall kicks in chat.
Oh, that's throwing wall kicks under the bus.
I'm not putting him front and center. I'm not throwing him under any bus. Like, he is just right here.
Yeah.
You know, since I know how much Allison loves when people take blame for a seat they rolled, that was all me. That was all me.
I thought you were going to say that it was Allison.
Maybe it was Gamma's fault.
Yeah, because we're joined by Gammachuu. GG's.
Yes, GG's Gamma.
Yo, GG's Humbugh.
GG Gamma.
Did you enjoy the seat as much as I did?
No. Yes. I don't. Depends. But no, this was absolutely hot garbage. I hated every minute of it. From the minute I went to Eastern before Zora area, I felt behind, and I probably was. To the minute that I went to Back of Skullwoods and didn't have a small key, all of that. I still didn't check the chest, so yeah.
You went to the back, but you didn't check the chest?
Well, I went halfway to the back. I went to the,
okay.
in line of the big key chest, and then I realized that, wait, I don't have a small key, so I mirrored out. And I still hadn't been to Eastern or Pod.
Right. Oh my
Oh, yeah.
gosh. I figured if you got that early, you should have finished probably quite a while ago. And
Mhm.
if you didn't finish after I entered Aga 1, I'm like, okay, either we're really neck and neck or I don't know, something disastrous
Yeah.
happened. But
Yep.
yeah, that I am never gonna check that chest when I don't have a small key. And
Me either. I
yeah, it's
assume
just-
you last located it.
yes, I did pod even right side twice. Just maybe I could get a small key in the back of pod, just Skullwoods.
Yeah, I
And
didn't
I
even
didn't get
bother with
anything.
that.
So I'm like, yeah, this is such garbage. Oh gosh.
See, hot garbage provided by CSR for this 80 keys final.
I
Yes.
want. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, we got a game 3 out of this, so I guess the rest of us are gonna have some popcorn ready for Sunday.
Yeah, apparently. But no,
So,
that
Humbug,
was
did you feel behind when you did CT?
me. Sorry,
Yeah. Did you feel behind? So you did Castle Tower for that small key.
for sure.
You were hoping for a Turrock, or
I was hoping for a Third Rock small, or a pod small. Honestly, like anything. I considered going very much out of my way for the GT Big Key. Like I considered doing the book checks after Turtle Rock, but I didn't. Luckily,
With the
so
book and Turtle Rock?
the book was on right side Turtle Rock.
Oh yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna skip that and cut big chest and Mimic Cave. I'm like, there's no way I'm touching any of that.
yeah, Gamma?
Yeah.
We were like, what is Gamma gonna do here? And it's like, nope, he's not doing anything. Like, okay, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because I didn't know how Humbug might have played this, and I'm just not feeling it. It's just I just don't know.
Did you do Eastern before Zora area this time as well?
No, I didn't touch Eastern area at all.
Okay.
I just went for Zora area. I'm like, yeah, I only a 300 will bail me out, and I don't want to bother looking around.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Then yeah, I felt like my early routing paid off pretty nicely. I got the boots a little later than I hoped to. It would have been nice to have them for the mountain, but
Yeah.
the mountain just seemed like a much more appealing play.
Yeah,
Than
I did the same. It was those boots were nice, but the fact that we had to triple dip, like logically triple dip, Skullwoods.
Let's go
That
right
never
back inside.
happens.
No, I realized that when I picked up the fire rod, I'm like, oh, okay, boots there, fire rod here, cool, okay, yeah. Am I gonna go back there? Never until I have a small key.
Yeah.
It just was not happening.
Until you last locate the Easttown Big Key in the back of Skullwoods. Yep. Mm-hmm. What an adventure.
Yeah, what had me worried a bit was Humbug. I don't know if you want to normally steal a key and maybe just drop down and save and quit and leave the key sitting there.
No.
So I don't know if you gone back like, I got the fire rod now. Let's go do the Skullwoods, Montula, and then do the drop down afterwards.
I will next race.
Hmm?
If you won't, I will.
Yeah, no, not this one. This one, it just would have been you would have finished so much sooner.
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Like that's why I started making those skips. I should have skipped most of Meyer too. It just felt bad. Like I don't know how much to skip. There's just 8 items in here. I just skipped cutscene though.
Yeah, same. But I did all of Turtle Rock. Well, apart
Did
from
you have all 4 keys?
No, apart from Lava Chest, obviously. But
Okay.
yeah. Oh well. GG anyway.
Oh yeah, GG's for sure. This was not a fun scene, but
No,
it's always
it
fun
was
to race you.
Yes. It was absolutely. It was hot garbage, as you guys said when I came in here.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
I said it just was hot garbage around like 30 minutes or something like that. So,
But it was a lot of fun to watch. Not to play, but to watch it was very entertaining.
I did everything I could for my audience, or our audience. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Thank you so much to our volunteers, to Clear Mouse, to Nielsen, to also Philistier, and to Nobly. And also GG's to both of you, to Gamma and to Humbug. And we're gonna have a game 3. Sunday at noon Eastern, we're going to be back here on this very channel for the absolute final game of this tournament. You don't want to miss it. I will not miss it. I think we're going to have a brand new set of volunteers for that one, though. So that's it for you four today for this tournament. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching. And we're going to be back on Sunday. Stay tuned. Have a good one.